Unscripted Kayfabe. Tune in to Spotify. Tune in to Apple Podcasts. Tune in to iTunes, to Apple Music, even Heart Radio. The Unscripted Kayfabe is the product that we watch. To analyze the product, to watch the product, to discourage the product, to encourage the product. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, oh boy, we're getting a rant. Welcome to the Unscripted Kayfabe. No rumors, no dirt, oh bullshit. This is the Unscripted Kayfabe.
Welcome everybody to the Unscripted Kayfabe. Yeah, I guess basically if you're new here, you can subscribe if you wish to zone. We're live with the Unscripted Kayfabe. Sorry, some coffee. Man, I mean, the show I just talked about. We talked about All Out yesterday or some sorts. Was it yesterday? I'm not sure. Was it? I don't know. I can keep up with the fucking dates of this. Wanted to kick off the All Out show. We started at, if I'm mistaken. I can keep up. I mean, but again, I just thought that All Out and basically the Wrestlepalooza show, I could just kind of do a combined stream because already All Out was 7 fucking hours long, and you bet your ass this won't be that long. This is we went over All Out, went over everything we discussed about mainly about AEW and issues here with bookings and stuff. I think Wrestlepalooza, we will not have to do that basically. Because I'm not as big of a WWE fan as I'm an AEW fan generally. That's just how much AEW is emotionally connected with me, and we're seeing AEW in a shit position and seeing bad stuff on AEW that's not worth it. That's not worth television. It hurts me basically in a lot of ways. Nonetheless, we are live. Aren't we? Yeah, we are fucking live, man. We are fucking live. For Wrestlepalooza review. The honest take, my honest take, not Takeshita. That's right. My honest review, my honest take on the show. I think we'll get it started. This won't be a long show, folks. Just let me give you a heads up for sure. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I'm gonna break down the stuff spot by spot, as we did for All Out. But again, this won't be as long. Man, what a show Wrestlepalooza was, huh? Especially seems on the internet, or seems on Twitter, or sure, or even Instagram sometimes. It feels like, man, everybody loved Wrestlepalooza, didn't they? Everyone really loved Wrestlepalooza. Tony Khan loved it. Come on, Tony Khan is a big fucking ECW mark. We know that for a fact. We don't need to judge why this pay-per-view exists in the fucking first place. It's mainly because of Tony Khan. And how the Snowman, you guys probably don't know that, that's what we call him in WWE. The Snowman is a big fucking mark of ECW, and this pay-per-view was for Tony Khan. This PLE was for Tony Khan. For Tony Khan, WWE did a really nice thing for Tony Khan. They gave him Wrestlepalooza. Are you fucking kidding me? People say WWE is so mean to Tony. Man, come on. Let's be real. Come on, man. But look what WWE does. They did this really nice thing for Tony Khan. WWE did the really nice thing with Tony, basically, man. They really gave Tony some love out here. Putting on a Wrestlepalooza, an ECW event, an ECW pay-per-view, making their PLE. They could not just love Tony Khan more than ever, basically. They love Tony Khan so much that they started this PLE, revived this pay-per-view, bought the rights from an independent company, and revived this pay-per-view and doing fucking PLE. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking, huh? What are we talking? Yeah, we're talking shit, basically. Okay. That was a little banner, a little banter in terms of just a little fun at that situation we had there. Yeah, all out, not all out. Fuck up. Just my brain is fucking stuck with all out at this point. Wrestlepalooza was a eventual show. Eventual, as you have seen people online on X really losing their fucking shit over everything on the show, and mainly we're gonna get to the number one topic: why they're losing their shit and why they're not, I think, mentally fit to understand what's going on. Was the show great? No, fuck no, it wasn't great. Okay, Wrestlepalooza wasn't great, but it was not as bad as people have out it to be. Basically, it wasn't that bad. Okay, mainly those people who are complaining are either one a bunch of sickos from AEW, or shitting on it basically, or either John Cena fanboys at the end of the day, basically. Because John got screwed over. Yeah, we've known it for fucking forever now, people, you fucking geeks out there. You don't know shit, basically. That Triple H is not a big fan of John Cena, so you should have expected this earlier. I mean, what the fuck did you expect? What the fuck did you expect from Triple H? Huh? What the fuck did you expect? I'm gonna knock that fucking door. What the fuck did you expect? What did you fucking expect from Triple H? Vanilla Ice, wannabe rapper. Yeah, Adam Copeland called Triple H for that. He couldn't make it, meaning John Cena. Triple H never thought John would ever make it. Triple H wanted to bury Cena as much as he could. You know that he wanted to get that shovel in, but he couldn't because Vince would have never let John lose to Triple H. Or get buried to Triple H, or in situations like this. Triple H is a fucking jealous man, bro. He's a jealous man that he's never been the face of the company. Well, let's be honest here. I'm gonna get over this shit right here. And to the fucking idiots out there who think Triple H he was world. No, he wasn't. He's never been the face of the WWE. He's never been the face of the company. Okay? Let me get that fucking shit out of here. So you fucking understand this fucking shit right here. Triple H has never been the main guy. He's never been a Cena, a Hogan, an Austin. He's never been The Rock either. Triple H is what you see Seth Rollins in the role right now. That's what Triple H is. That was Triple H was. Obviously, Triple H has plenty more championships over Seth Rollins, but neither Triple H is not a better wrestler than Seth Rollins. Get the fuck out of that take. Triple H was never the guy. Eric Bischoff really, puts it up there straight like he thought he was the guy, but he was never really the guy. Like we knew he was never the guy. Okay, he was the guy who used to carry the torch if somebody got injured or something. But he was never really the face of the company guy. He was the backup plan always in sorts of storylines and injuries, basically. But he was never the fucking guy. He was never the guy. He was never the fucking guy. Let's get that shit out of here, man. Basically, Cena was the guy. Cena was the guy for nearly 10 years, or for 10 years, basically. Cena was the guy from 2007 to 2017. Cena was the guy. Triple H how much envy and jealousy this fucker has, basically. Triple H, he, bitter. Again, we talked about Bret Hart being bitter, and we talked about that on the All Out stream, basically. The whole fucking thing about that, where I put over Triple H. I'm here to bury him, actually, in some sorts. He, himself being bitter that he was never the guy, and Cena was in that position, and Triple H never got to be in that position, even for a year or so. Triple H is jealous. He's bitter that he was never the guy. So he has all his rights as being the head of creative now. He's gonna do whatever it takes to show Cena, hey, fuck you. I'm gonna fuck up your retirement tour. You know, I wish Cena says some stuff about this. Really buries Triple H eventually. I'm gonna put this out there. Cena losing to Brock. Let me put it out to the sickos and the fucking shills and Cena fanboys out there. Motherfucker, Cena losing to Brock isn't the thing, okay? It's not what I'm generally upset about. Got it? You fucking understand that shit? Cena losing to Brock is not it. Cena's entire fucking retirement tour has been booked like shit. Okay, let's not get it twisted here. It's not him losing to Brock that's the problem, really. I have no fucking problem with that. I had Brock kind of point in. I mean, it was before a bit on the left side feel where you felt like, oh, it's really unpredictable. But when he showed up on SmackDown and when he spoke or whatever, and he gave his reason in a fucking promo package, and F5 Cody Graves out of fucking oblivion, basically. Brock Lesnar made that shit, man. So basically, I mean, I was kind of convinced right after that. I had Brock pinned as beating Cena. Now I thought it would have been back and forth, and again, I was not paying attention because I was watching All Out again. I was not into Wrestlepalooza at all, and especially this Brock and Cena match, which, let's be real, they might have given a fucking explanation, but that explanation absolutely, at the end of the day, was just too late and just not even done properly. So get the fuck out of here with that whole notion. And definitely, I'm gonna put it out with the fucking Shields and the E-Feds and the WWE elitists out there. Motherfucker, tell me basically, listen, you watch your favorite show, okay? You watch your favorite show. Imagine one of your top characters doesn't give any explanation to what actually happened. Or one of those top characters are not giving a narrative, not they don't simply give an explanation, but the storytelling gives an explanation. You know? This is story at the end of the day. This whole big match fucking idea, get the fuck out of here, basically, with that whole notion, okay? Absolutely get the fuck out of here. This big match, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, garbage, okay? That notion itself, garbage. Why the fuck did you attack Cena? Just can you not speak that? You not say anything about that? We're supposed to just guess? So it's like basically, somebody kills somebody and says, we don't know why they killed our favorite character in the show, and basically they said nothing about that, why he killed it, our favorite character. Our favorite character gets killed in the TV show, and we're left there speechless, basically, and then no explanation. Imagine how would you feel about that? Your fucking TV show you're watching out there, or a movie out there. Imagine how the fuck would you feel about that? So get the fuck out of here with the Brock. Brock doesn't need an explanation. He fucking needs an explanation, and you're a fucking idiot if you don't want. You're an absolute fucking buffoon, idiot. More words I gotta describe you more than ever. I mean, Brock Lesnar needs to explain why the fuck he did that. That's it. Brock's gotta explain. Brock is a TV character. We know, and in the storyline, in the aspect of that, we need a reason for why the fuck did he attack Cena? This big match idea doesn't fucking work. Explain me, why the fuck did you beat this guy up? Well, there's any rhyme or reason? Why were you off television? I want story. Where's story in this? Nothing. There's no story. All the story that's from the past, which doesn't line up in today's time because you attacked somebody. Why did you attack him? And why are you back? Those words just explain me why you're back in the first place. Where were you? I mean, you can't tell where were you clearly, but still, it's confusing and it doesn't fucking work. Okay, so it's basically then one of like basically a character in a TV show, explaining or Game of Thrones or whatever. The big thing happened, and you got no explanation that how the fuck would you feel about it? Tell me basically. Yeah, you would be shitting on it right away. I could be watching people's rants about, the final episode of fucking final season generally off the what I call it, Game of Thrones basically. So get the fuck out of this notion. What did you expect? What did you fucking expect? I don't know. I mean, you gotta be an idiot if you expected no explanation. You basically don't. You basically are the biggest buffoon ever. Why? Everybody has a question. Why? Why? Hey, Dad, why are you doing this? Hey, Mom, why are you doing this? Hey, Brock needs to say the why. Why did he attack Cena? The way they presented that, he needs to tell us, the viewing audience and the crowd, why he attacked Cena. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like Brock Lesnar's fucking Brock Lesnar and can get away with this shit. No. When you are a character on television, you need to explain. You are a storyline character. This is a TV show that we weekly watch. SmackDown. You need to explain why you attacked Cena. I know you can explain what was going on in your past 2 years, basically. Those are out of kayfabe, but in a kayfabe storyline, you have to explain. Because if you say, "Oh, it's not kayfabe," then explain me what the fuck you were doing. Then explain me, where were you in the first place? Why were you off television since SummerSlam of 2023? 2 years you were off television. Why were you off television, Brock? Explain me that. There's a why in everything, man. Why do you eat food? Why? Why do you drink water? Just there's a why is why basically here. I mean, come on. Why do you do? Why do you go to work? Why? Why do you take a shower? Why? Basically, the sickos I did no, they don't take showers. Clearly, no. Really, a terrible thing came out from that thing. All out. Sad, man. Sad. Bro, just go take a fucking shower, you mentally ill sicko. What the fuck are you at a show when you can take a fucking shower? Get cleaned and then go to a show. That guy basically had to move away from that fucking seat venue he was in. That seating arrangement he had. The smell was fucking unbearable. It was toxic and hard to breathe, basically. It's a situation out there. Why did somebody do this? Why do we eat food? Why do we do that? You need to explain, motherfucker. You gotta explain me. What the fuck did you attack Cena? You cannot just tell it off as this, oh, the big match. No, it doesn't work like that. Basically, that's what I think about that, and that's what I'll say about it. So again, I had no problem with Brock beating Cena. I did. The build, I've given two shits about this fucking build. The build is god awful. John Cena retirement tour is meh so far. I think, or it's okay at best right now. It's become okay. It's meh. It's I mean, and for people seeing John get squashed by Brock, you didn't pay attention to what happened on SmackDown. You didn't see what they were trying to do with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is going to be more important than just being a pawn in Cena with Cena's way or whatever. Brock will always. This is story here, man. If you fucking get this, Brock is always gonna have Cena's number. Doesn't matter if it's Super Cena. It doesn't matter what John Cena it is. This is fucking Brock Lesnar, bro. Brock Lesnar. If they were actually kind of brought back Super Cena and he got killed again, yes, because Brock Lesnar is a fucking killer, and Superman dies. Superman dies, or Thanos kills the fucking Captain America at the end of the day. That's what I give Brock as that. Brock is Thanos, and Thanos easily kills Captain America. Squashes him, basically. Kills him off. So, again, people have this idea and notion out there with the whole situation like that. I mean, come on, dude. Let's be real. Again, this show was not like it's made out to be the worst fucking show everybody's ever seen. There was likely barely any emotion. I wasn't. This is what I'll give WWE flack here for, and rightfully so. They build this show as the greatest thing that will happen on ESPN. You will see some great moments and great everything, bro. Everybody in the crowd was fucking wanting a GTS to Becky Lynch. We didn't even get that. So get the fuck out of here with that shit, basically. We wanted that moment. You didn't get it. So this was just overhyped. Like, there's a lot of overhyped stuff from WWE before, and they fucking never deliver on it. So what else? It was just overhyped shit. ESPN. Even ESPN shat on it, I guess. One of the ESPN reporters shat on it, on ESPN, which is so funny, bro. It's funny that ESPN themselves are shitting on WWE. It was a what I break it down to be. I think the Brock and Cena match. I don't know what the fuck did you expect after Friday Night SmackDown. You need to pay attention to key and story there. How they're presenting Brock back. You can't have have Cena beat Brock. There's no struggle for Cena. Sorry, we need struggle. Why does Cena get to clear pass away to his retirement tour? Why? And you think in your honest opinion that John is gonna win his retirement match? No. John's gonna put over anybody they put him up against. John Cena's not winning his retirement match. That would do nothing for anybody. Cena wins retirement, great. It's like Sting wins retirement match, Bucks for all the top guys, but Sting was in a tag team, so that was something else basically. Again, that does nothing for Cena and his fucking career. So, I mean, I think people need to just shut up sometimes and not fucking pay attention to some storyline. But I guess that is how it's done, maybe in some sorts ways. But nonetheless, I would say it's what is. Story is story, and at the end of the day, Brock squashing Cena was basically story free. That Brock was always have Cena's number, and Brock is a fucking uncaged mammoth of a man who, the moment he sees you, you're dead in a fucking millisecond, bro. You're dead in a second the moment he sees you. That's what Brock Lesnar is for you. So yes, people say, "Oh, Brock Lesnar doesn't need this win. Brock's been off television for 2 fucking years." The way he looks now, the way he acted on SmackDown, if he loses, he looks like the fucking biggest loser in the world. John can take the loss. He can take the struggle because the struggle with Cena is better than him winning matches all the time. Let's be real. When they did the Solo Sikoa situation, the struggle to win a match. So yes, Brock beating Cena was the right decision. Now, did I feel anything from the match? No, I didn't. There was no emotion in it. I didn't care about the match from the get-go, basically. I didn't care about the build. I didn't care about the match. I didn't. Like, I was expecting something like fucking, like, some kind of an Extreme Rules callback to their match. But no, they gave you the SummerSlam 2014 callback where they had Brock squash Cena. Which again, the first one is obviously the better one, and that one being he squashed Super Cena was unsquashable back then. So again, I love stuff like this. Basically, Brock Lesnar, dude, Brock Lesnar wins the, well, I'll say wins the world championship. Fuck out of here. Damn, it's getting nighttime, man. Crazy. Brock doesn't win the world championship. Brock Lesnar gets elevated in some spots. He does. Brock gets elevated in some spots, basically, man. Brock Lesnar is elevated into a position where he can be a killer who will kill you in a fucking second. The best part of this entire thing was seeing kids cry. Sorry, it was. That was a fucking cool visual. To seeing kids, John, getting horrified from Brock Lesnar or his fucking beat down of Cena. Paul Walter Hauser was out there um, on a clip, and he literally said Brock versus Cena. Cena's fight with the kids, F5. Cena's kids, F5, whatever. And you had Marty Cobra really sitting next to him. I was like, what the fuck is going on, basically? Cobra Kai guys. Stingray and John Kreese. Great stuff, man. But again, I mean, even I know he's going to make fun of. He's a fucking sicko with the sickos, basically. Rolled in with him at this point. Works for the sickos. He works to show off for the sickos, basically. So I won't even go back and say shit about that, but it's what it is. I loved that. I loved it. I mean, I didn't love it, but I found it really hilarious and stuff. But still, yeah. People thought that John was gonna win. You didn't actually see SmackDown. You didn't know the story. You didn't see any progression. Why would they have Brock attack Corey Graves? That's meaningless then. If you Brock gets beat by Cena, Cena has not once. Cena can't even attack Brock basically. Cena can not even try to fight back Brock. What the it is stupid. People are fucking mentally ill and stupid, bro. They don't know shit, and they just fucking complain, basically. They can't play by the hardball. Absolutely not. Basically, people don't give two shits about it, man. People don't give two shits about it. If they did, you won't be hearing as much hate for this fucking thing. Because again, why is there hate in the first place for this? I don't get it. I think they delivered on what they did. What did you expect? Some 5-star Okada versus Omega match here? No, you're not gonna get shit like that. And if you were expecting some carnage, this is a normal match. You're not gonna get that either. It's basically showing that Cena has to struggle. Cena is not gonna just keep on winning and winning. Cena might have to struggle here and really struggle hard to do this, basically. Which eventually Brock is gonna come out of Crown Jewel, which is gonna happen. You know that's coming up. And Brock and Cena are gonna be going head to head on Monday Night Raw or fucking, I mean, Netflix would want that, right? Netflix would want that. What do you think? Netflix won't want that? Brock Lesnar, one of the greatest UFC fighters ever, basically. The Netflix would cream their pants wanting that shit. So basically, I would say, this was great for what it was worth. Story. This was king when it was here. Moving on to the tag team match between the Usos and the Bronze. It was a fun match. Great little stuff here and there. Basically, I did not like the. I wanted LA Knight to be more. I didn't like the LA Knight and Jey Uso stuff as much. They really didn't give as much to it. It's quite LA Knight and the Vision, and basically the Vision and LA Knight and the Vision ended up winning. So that's great, but again, didn't play into that storyline as much as they should have. And again, as Division One. Moving on to the Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer match. Man, this match was just technical masterpiece. And the story behind Io avoiding the spot, whatever it's called, locking the leg in the head and then slamming it to a DDT position. Io avoiding that spot over and over again, and the just technical work, the corkscrew leg, the corkscrew thing. What's it called? Basically, some really technical, beautiful pro wrestling out there. Love this. Really love stuff like that. Great technical pro wrestling out there. The mixed tag team match: Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. Great match. Great spots. Great fun stuff in the match. It was every aspect of this match fucking delivered. One thing I would critique here is the what would I critique here? The one thing I critique here is it's Seth Rollins, basically what I would critique here. The critique I would give to this. The critique I would give to this man is a lot of critique I'll give to this. Actually, there's no fucking critique. My God, as my brain's not working. There's no critique I would give to this. I think, although yeah, critique I know what I would give to this. My bad. I remember now. Becky Lynch did not take a GTS, and AJ Lee did not get a curb stomp. Well, then that was a great match. We talk about AJ Lee getting her body slammed by Rollins slipping her, and where she slams into the mat basically, and Becky Lynch getting locked in the sharpshooter by CM Punk, and Becky, CM Punk's a big bread guy, so love that shit basically. And now we're gonna talk about the main event. I'm gonna break it down right here, starting really soon, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here with this because I'm just fucking tired, and it's getting late. It's getting really late now. I think what time is it? I'm not sure. Is it? And I'm feeling a bit tired, man. I'm feeling exhausted and just tired of the day. Let's sleep. Sleepy bed, guys. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna be kicking it off here, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here with that shit, basically. All right, the match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Well, what should I say about that shit? Really? They kind of locked it up, the collar and tie elbow locked up or whatever. Drew gave Cody a headbutt. Cody really, ran out of this situation and all, whatever he was part of it, basically. Guys, the funny thing is, again, this show is going to be less longer than All Out because the show barely has anything on the show to as much. It's not that much intriguing to talk about really over and over again. As much as there's a lot of intriguing stuff in AEW to talk about, actually. It's not great, but it's intriguing to have a conversation about it, which we went 7 hours for that. Mainly, guys, I would say 7 hours wasn't just 7 hours for that reason. 7 hours was a mishap where, I mean, we didn't realize that it was that kind of left it there open. 1 hour. It was basically our talk, our review was a 5 hour, 30-minute review. 5 hour, 35 minutes review. That's the review we had, and for All Out, basically, it went 7 hours just because of the whole like this fucking just personal issues or whatever sorts. But still, the show went that long. I'm not gonna go and say, hey, oh, the fucking show went that long, and I'm upset about it. No, I'm not. I'm not upset about it. Okay, let me get that whole shit out of here. I don't really care about the show went that long. Really, I don't. It's what it is. It's what's the part of the show. It's what we do really. The show again did not go that long, basically. But again, it's what you want to understand or not. It's your take to take it. It's your take to understand it. I don't give a shit, bro. I don't. But again, the show did not go I think too long or shorts, but still. For Wrestlepalooza, as we're talking here, man, we were gonna get the fuck out of here with this shit, basically. Compared to All Out, they maximum probably would go 1 hour 20 minutes. I can tell you, maybe it would go longer. I'm not sure. You know, we're already closing to 40 minutes nearly. Nonetheless, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, they really had a thing. Drew McIntyre hit Cody Rhodes an elbow, the headbutt. Drew McIntyre really worked on Cody. He was really in control in the match. He was. But then that stupid fucking thing happened where Drew McIntyre, literally the ref came in for the fucking Drew, and Drew literally put his fucking legs through the fucking table. Which was like, great, Triple H. Always make Drew McIntyre look like a fucking idiot and say, always it comes back to Drew McIntyre. It's not working anymore, man. I'm sorry, this whole character of Drew McIntyre, it's not working. You know why I care about Cody still retaining? Because we're getting Seth versus Cody. That's intriguing. We're going to be getting the Raw review sooner. Got to check out the show. I didn't get to check out the show. Kind of busy here, man. Busy about some other stuff. Definitely. But again, it's intriguing. The possibility of that is just fucking intriguing to me. And now it's happening. It's crazy. Because Cody Rhodes, when he walked into WWE, he absolutely, you know, won every single match against Seth Rollins. Vince was in charge. And Seth had no problem putting himself down for Cody Rhodes for an EVP from AEW and coming back, basically. And again, this is how much of a, you know, not it's how much great Seth is. Not gonna politic for himself. He's not gonna try to get. He didn't have an ego really, and he said good for the company. We just took one of their EVPs basically, AEWs. My friends is one of my friend like his friend Seth Rollins' friends Kenny Omega and the Bucks. His friend basically, Cody Rhodes. So basically, and they had those three matches where again Cody Rhodes was the top guy always in those matches, and Cody Rhodes. I mean, you guys might remember when Cody came back, he was really getting pushed. It was getting, and you felt it because not a lot. The majority of the talent outside Roman were not being booked anywhere great. So that was funny, basically. Majority talent outside Roman were not being booked any fucking great. Okay, they weren't. The talent outside Roman Reigns were not being booked great, really. So Cody came in, immediately became the number one babyface in the company. And right in that moment, the moment he came out of the Cody Vader at WrestleMania, where Seth Rollins was looking for an opponent, Cody Rhodes became the number one babyface in professional wrestling. I'm sorry, he did. Cody Rhodes was the number one babyface in all of pro wrestling. It's crazy. The guy was getting booed over there in AEW. The moment he walks into WWE, he becomes the biggest babyface in pro wrestling. He was presented as this fucking top tier suit wearing wrestler guy that Vince portrayed him as. It came off a bit forced. It did. But again, all that again, as I just mentioned, the idea of Seth and Cody is really intriguing. That's why I had no problem with Drew McIntyre. If I had a problem, and if it was if it was not for Seth and Cody, I am absolutely fed up with Cody Rhodes' long reign. I don't want to see this long reign again and again. I'm sick of it. Move on from it, basically. But again, we get something better out of this. I mean, you have more intriguing in the storyline with Drew Man with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the Crown Jewel Championship. Again, there's a story there where Seth has not beaten Cody once. Cody has always gotten the victory on Seth. Cody is a much better main guy than Seth is. Hard to disagree with that generally, but whatever. But again, as I said, intrigued right away the moment Cody Rhodes retained, because I knew what we were gonna get basically. This was what everybody wanted this anyway, so this is the only reason I was intrigued that Cody Rhodes retained. Other than that, I think I could give two shits that Cody retained. But again, that's what it is basically, man. It's what shit can be sometimes. But that's what I'll say about that shit basically. Holy shit. What the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, so Cody retained, and again, it's what this is how shit is sometimes. Wrestlers retain. You cannot fucking hold a grudge to somebody, basically, and feel the way you feel. It doesn't matter. They went for story. They went for Cody and Seth, and I have no problem with that. Okay, because we're gonna get Cody and Seth, and there's already story there, and I know they're gonna build story off it more even. They're gonna go back to their past and the Shield, WrestleMania 40. I want you to be my shield. The road to WrestleMania, where Cody said to Seth, I want you to be my shield. All that is going to come into provision. Their history and what Seth is saying now, that he is the top bearer of breaking through him, basically. The future breaks through Seth. He's the one who is going to lead this company into the future, and all the talent will go through Seth, not Cody. And he believes that. Again, story there. He had more story on that. What Seth is honest, like this is a really works with well on Seth's faction and the vision base, the vision Seth has. Story. This is why I am not really pissed off as much as should be for how they cucked him to Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre basically got fucking cucked to Cody Rhodes. Wrestlepalooza in the main event, which again would be really underwhelming if I don't talk about it. The most underwhelming main events generally, but still, man, again, you know, whatever that was, basically. Cody Rhodes gave him a crossroads, and then Drew kicked on the first one. The second one, he didn't kick out. I was like, he's going to kick out. I expected Randy Orton interference. I thought something was going to big go down. But no, we're going for Cody and Seth, which I don't hate again, basically, what I'm trying to say. I don't. Story here, man. There's a lot of story between Seth and Cody, and something you want to tell. You have a great storyline. They're going to build this to perfection, basically. I mean, you can go cry about it as much you want that Drew did not win the world championship. He did not become WWE champion. You know, people can go cry about LA Knight did not become WWE champion. It's at the end of the day, it's all about story, man. Triple H is a guy who works with story. And I give him credit where it's due. Because without story, wrestling is basically flips and dips for no reason. Or two sweaty oil men just doing fucking tackles and just grappling each other with their sweaty elbows, basically. Oily men just doing shit like that. So stories definitely needed. Story's king in pro wrestling, man. So love it. Love the Seth and Cody build. Love how it's gonna elevate more. So that was the reason that's the reason I cared even that Cody retained. Because I'm not a biggest fan of Cody retaining because I'm fucking tired of this I am the guy, and this I am Cody Rhodes, blah blah blah. I'm the American Nightmare. I love the kids, blah blah blah. Whatever he does says basically. I'm tired of that shit at this point. I'm getting fed up with Cody Rhodes being this guy. Not it for me personally. I feel like Drew McIntyre could put a little intrigue into that, but still, that's what we got. Let's break this shit down in a fucking review style, which we definitely will be doing. Here on the show. As we know, there were 5 matches: John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Undisputed, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, mixed tag team match, Fucking Nation versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, Usos versus the Usos and versus the Bronze, and then Io Sky versus Stephanie back here. All right. The final battle in legendary rivalry between Cena and Lesnar did not waste time, delivering fireworks as Paul Heyman emerged from the shadows, which I forgot to talk about. That was a really cool thing to see because again, Paul Heyman addressed Brock on the show, and I really liked that spot right there with Heyman helping out there, coming out and helping Lesnar out for whatever it was worth it or not. So I really like that they did something there. Cool shit to see. Nonetheless, it was a cool shit to see. It's cool shit to see like Lesnar come out there to give this match even a big fight feel. For Paul Heyman to be out in Lesnar's corner and announce him as his client, basically, the reigning, or whatever I used to say. How he used to announce Brock Lesnar. And performed the Beast Incarnate special introduction. He did not, however, hint at any further involvement with his former client. He's still his former client, but again, here's what they talked about on Friday, basically played into this. When Cena created his separation and hoisted Lesnar up for the attitude adjustment. Actually, sorry, my bad. Once the bell rang, Lesnar utilized his power and ferocity, dwelling unseen 17 and tossing him around a squared circle, establishing dominance early and often. When Cena created a separation and hoisted Lesnar up for the attitude adjustment, or the FU basically, the heel escaped and cut him down with a blade clothesline. Brock. A errant charge into the corner finally allowed Cena to mount on offense, including 4 shoulder tackles and 3 of his trademark finishers. This was the most thing you could say if you had Cena did basically. Lesnar kicked out at 2, recovered, and delivered 6 F5s to pick up what could be the best described uncontested match. Again, there's nothing more about this, basically, folks. There's nothing more to this. That's why this show is going to be really, I think we might go over an hour, basically, on the show. It's crazy, man. All out, basically, I mean, and so, that fucking show, I mean, guys, come on. I mean, it's absolutely crazy that we went, how long we went for All Out? The review was 5 hours long. We mistakenly went 7 hours long for the show. I mean, you put on these many fucking matches on the show. I have to break them down and storyline and things I don't like. We don't have much to talk about on Wrestlepalooza, and we are not much going to talk about any storyline, basically. We're not gonna. That can be discussed over on Monday nights. On the review that will be coming out from Monday Night Raw, we're going to be talking about that. We're not talking on Wrestlepalooza. Because I'm not going to be doing an AEW Dynamite live review. I already have talked about everything about Dynamite and all my issues on All Out, basically. What I don't like about the shows weekly, basically. They suck. They're boring. They're not worth it. They're not worth your watch. So be definitely live to shit on AEW Dynamite for how bad it is, basically. So tune in for that on Wednesday. Moving on. So basically, again, Cena did all those shoulder tackles, and then he gave him the attitude adjustment. Basically, gave him the FU, and as Lesnar quickly recovered, and then delivered fucking 6 F5s to Cena and squashed the shit out of him, basically. And then after the match, he delivered 1 F5 to the official, and then he gave Cena another F5. And staring with the chorus of booths with the fans attending, many of whom were sporting John Cena, yellow Cena t-shirts. You basically got kids out there crying, bro. So, quite the moment right there, huh? Quite the moment. Again, I don't hate this. I'm going to talk about it over again. What you saw on SmackDown. In what way are they trying to present Brock Lesnar right now? Why is Brock Lesnar back, basically? I didn't hate this, really. I didn't hate Brock and Cena at all. I didn't. For things that people don't understand here, Cena has struggled. And I know if you're a John Cena fanboy, I mean, you might be upset about that, basically. Like, it's all you for you, Super Cena. But for people who are not huge John Cena fanboys, we'd like to see story. And Triple H doesn't just care about you John Cena fanboys. Okay? He cares about story. So Triple H's goal is since he took over creative. He is a guy who works on telling story. And there's a story to be told till War Games. Be smarter here. Don't be a fucking elitist for WWE or whatever you would say. You fucking geek out there, man. Be smart here. There's a vision, basically, in plan for Lesnar. Lesnar is going to be an acquaintance by Paul Heyman for the vision, an alliance. Just imagine Brock Lesnar in a fucking War Games. Bro, the way he looks better than ever. He looks younger than ever, basically. Looks in a great fucking shape. Think the time off really helped him out a lot. Took care of his body. Looks younger. Looks faster. Looks like a fucking a running hungry bear who will get to you in a fucking second and kill you in that instant. That's what Brock Lesnar looks like. So again, great stuff right there. Of F5 being seen over and over again. Saying that John is just gonna get this easy retirement tour. No. What does John winning do, basically? Now I'm kind of intrigued. What is John willing to? What do you think? If I'm gonna take Brock Lesnar seriously, if John wins, they might have done the greatest hits. They might have given you the greatest, crazy match between each the tables being broken down or whatever the fuck's gonna happen. Triple H told to tell a story here. You can criticize him for that if you want to. That's your opinion. I'm gonna take that away from you. But again, nothing awful in this match. Great shot of seeing the kids cry, basically. Maybe a sicko out there to say shit like that, but hey guys, come on. These kids are barely even when Cena became a part-timer, these kids were probably born. Funny. Funny is what the situation is, basically. Brock Lesnar was doing funny shit, basically. What the fuck? Now you're, now the elitists are really upset because their homeboy John Cena didn't win. Oh, did they had no fucking reason to feel whatever they felt? They didn't care two shits about how we felt as if you were watching the fucking show. Did you care about that? No, you didn't. So now you see that the elitists are out there to gun out Triple H. Because their homeboy, John, got fucked. Basically. What else? John got fucked. But again, we'll mention here, nothing crazy here, nothing like, people expected something. What did you expect? Lower fucking expectations, first of all. Chill out with that. Brock and Cena, not Cena and Okada. Or Cena and Dragunov or something. It's not that. Chill out with this fucking. Just chill out your fucking, this whole expectations that you expect to. See, you're not gonna get something like that, basically. Moving on from this, definitely, we're going to talk about key moments in this match, basically. A lot of key matches and moments, guys. The camera caught Tyrus elbow turn sitting at ringside. His jaw dropped, and it was up in a porous expression given the fact that so much of WWE's had been centered around Cena's retirement tour, only for the company to run back to SummerSlam 2014 main event. This was a carbon copy, an absolute shooter of the the aforementioned 2014 jaw dropper. There was no real reason to run this match back beyond Israel establishing Cena Lesnar as a badass, which again you needed to, and people think Lesnar's already a badass. No, he's not. He's off television. They need to build the guy back up. Brock coming back and losing his first match. Just the odd thought of that. Brock was always gonna win, okay? He was gonna win. I understand the issue with the whole getting absolutely squashed. And I understand that people are already familiar with that, but again, some people are not familiar with this. They're on ESPN for the new platform. They cannot have Brock Lesnar lose. They cannot have Brock Lesnar get beaten by Cena. They're trying to build him in this situation. What the fuck don't you understand, you fucking elitists out there? Triple H basically wants to book Brock Lesnar into a better position. Triple H cares about that. He cares about booking Brock Lesnar into a position where, he could actually, a position that he is known in ESPN, and this whole thing, this was a show on ESPN. New viewers don't really know Brock Lesnar. What if they do? New viewers tuned in or something? They got newer fans checking out the show. They don't know Brock Lesnar. They know Brock Lesnar from UFC, or they're casual basically. Imagine they watching Brock Lesnar beating Cena beating Lesnar, and they just like, what the fuck am I watching? The way Lesnar looks is legit badass looking mother knucker vibe that Lesnar has. You think Triple H is gonna bury it and have Cena beat him? No, that's not gonna happen. Cena was undeniably one of the selling points of the show, unless the story moving forward is arguably decline, leading to his last match, which would be absurd. Somebody for a play a match for all familiar with no character the same a decade ago. People have their takes on this basically. They don't understand story, which is this one. All right, I'm gonna move on from this to talk about now the what are we talking about? We're heading into our to almost it's almost been an hour. We're live, folks. We're fucking live here, aren't we? We're basically live, man. Almost been a fucking hour, guys. Crazy. Crazy that it's been a fucking hour almost. Holy shit. We're gonna be starting it off sooner with everything that I said. The whole Brock and Cena shit. It's story, man. It's War Games. It's Division. It's the moment you saw Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar meet up. The moment Brock Lesnar F5'd Corey Graves. What did you expect? Brock was gonna beat Cena. Now the way it happened, that says a lot of things about, hey, John will never have Brock Lesnar's number. Can it be 2010? Can be 2014? Can be 2025? Doesn't matter which decade it is. Brock is always gonna. This was just Brock against squashing Super Cena, because Brock is more stronger than Super Cena. The idea of selling back to especially new ESPN viewers that Brock Lesnar is stronger than John Cena. Brock Lesnar is he's the strongest guy in the company. He is a killer, basically. Re-establishing Brock in a prominent position, which not a lot of people would find legit if Brock lost to Cena. where the viewers are tuning in. Basically, the show was not for hardcore fans, us, the hardcore fans, in what ways you want to accept me to say that. But again, that's what it was. It was for the new ESPN faithful viewers that Triple H was trying to get. So why Brock was presented this way is why they want to present Brock this way every single time he'll be on ESPN. So I hope you fucking understand that point what I made there. Moving on. A backstage conversation earlier in the evening during the Wrestlepalooza kickoff show led to Raw General Manager Adam Pearce named LA Knight special guest referee, which I forgot to talk about this. I think I kind of mentioned about LA Knight really being involved in this, but I forgot to talk about special referee. The heels dominated between Reunited Usos. The heels dominated early on. Okay, I'm going to talk about this basically, which I noticed. They play the old Usos team, and they basically then bury the old Usos team. To It's Just Me Us Day One ish. They buried the Usos team to Jey Uso's Yeet team basically, because Yeet is so over that now you're gonna bury this classic team. I think that team actually got no reaction to the crowd. Maybe that's why they buried it. Just so sad. You got these rich fucking hungry people out there who don't know fucking one shit about what the fans, us core fans who have to see this great team from the Usos basically and their team. Yeah, not this fucking same shit again. It's what it is. Anyways, moving on from that, I would say again, not it. Basically, I think that they should have been better presented. Whatever. The heels commented early on and whether being a brief onslaught from Twins and isolating Jimmy. Kaplan's on what Knight had admitted during the pre-show about relaxed rules. Heels introduced a steel chair into the fray, which was funny actually, which I kind of talked about. If I didn't, my bad if I didn't. Jimmy threw it, turned it against them, dropping Reed face first into it. Babyface could not capitalize as the Breaker broke up a hot tag and retained the advantage for his team. This was actually really funny. The getting the chair and then I was like, okay. And then Jimmy finally made it to his brother, and Jay exploded into the match, taking flight to both the heels and injecting much needed life into the contest. Babyfaces introduced the table into the fray. The heels set it up to utilize it. A few double super kicks led to the 1D, but Reed broke up the pin. The action broke down. Jimmy delivered a swanton bomb to Reed. Breaker speared him, and Jay delivered one of his own, followed by Uso splash for a dramatic 2 count. Tension between Jay and referee Knight continued to mount, halting the babyface's momentum. Breaker took the advantage to double Stewart, and then Tsunami DJ earned the heels a victory. So the Bronze had to win because there's no fucking point of that at this point. You have the Bronze do all this build, and you have the Bronze lose. That was not going to happen. Again, this was a great match. Great tag team match. A much better tag team match than the one with Roman and Roman and Jay versus the Bronze that we got at SummerSlam, which was good, but it was not great. This was great. Top moments take Usos entered the arena again with their old team music, featuring both of their on their vocals during a. I mean, again, this is really cool to hear the old teams here. Like, I mean, the crowd did not much react to this, which I was really weirded about. The leather jackets looked badass on them, basically. The Bronze. Jay hit Reed with the chair, which bounced back and busted the former world. Yeah, bro. He hit him with the steel chair, and then it just bounced back on him. And just Jay was profusely bleeding. Match was strong with the power amount of chaotic tag team. It's great tag team action at the end of the day. You love to see shit like that, bro. You definitely you love to see fucking shit like that, basically, at the end of the day. You would be an idiot. You don't like to see shit like that. Come on. Moving on. Stephanie Vaquer. Well, so just, what did Nikki Bella say? Whackaway? Get the fuck out of here, Nikki Bella. Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky. Two women respected and acclaimed women's wrestlers on the planet squared off for the vacant Women's World Championship, third match of the night as Battle Sky grappling early gave way to the Genius of Skies taking early control of the match with commentary questioned whether La Primera could defeat one of the best in the business on a stage magnitude. The former champion caught Vicaire with a springboard dropkick and followed up with a tops Susita Flan with the Chilean-born counter at ringside. Vicaire fought back, launching herself off the ropes with consecutive crossbody blocks. It's a great match, man. Probably the best match of the fucking weekend if you want to really talk about it over and over again. Much better than Riho. Absolutely 10 times better than Riho and Mercedes. So let me make that fucking clear right there. The combatants exchange rights, transitions into the forums. Wait a second. Combatants exchanged right, transition into forums. Crowd came alive as Akira teased the Devil's Kiss, but Sky she kept on countering the Devil's Kiss. I really like that. Devil's Kiss was really countered so many times. The counters in these matches were just top tier, man, basically. But Vicaria escaped. Double Stomp gave away to CrossFit, but Vicaria escaped. Lapperman caught Sky mid-flight, blocking the overtop moonsault with two boots to the midsection. She followed up with a second Dragon Crew leg whip off the match, that added the Devil's Kiss to the delight of the fans. She finally did it after really twisting her fucking knee, the Devil's Screw, which again, it's a really like that move is dangerous, bro. And so Stephanie is she's a fucking badass at what she does. Sky recovered and stopped her opponent on the top row, delivered a Spanish fly, which was a great spot. This match was a fucking awesome match, okay? That's what I'll say. Sky exposed her knees for added effect on her moonsault, but missed, diving the injured joint into the mat. She was really selling on that, basically. Becca responded with a picture perfect. Yes, like she really sold that. It must have hurt, basically. Missing and just landing taking a long face bump, basically. Amount of height you had to take. You just flipped your entire self, landed face first on the mat. That must have hurt, definitely. I'm not gonna lie. Vecca responded with a picture perfect spiral tap for the win. It's more a corkscrew moonsault than a spiral tap, but yeah, Michael Cole kind of confused it, basically. So Stephanie Vacquier, which nobody really expected this, has become your new women's world champion. People were like, they would rather go with Io. They really don't have any thing. Stephanie has been really ice cold recently, close to at least. She's been off television. You've not really showcased her as much recently. So basically, I mean, her reactions kind of, went down the hill recently. So I guess this is the decision they thought. They think she still gets top tier reactions or whatever. So I hope it goes in their favor. It was an excellent match. The match of the weekend, the match of the night, basically the entire day, entire 24 hours day. AEW All Out and AEW's All Out match of the night for me was, or match of the show was basically Kyle Fletcher and Adam Page. It's hard to say with Mascara Dorada, Big Take, and the Rainmaker. It's hard choice, but again, this was an excellent match. 5 stars, definitely. Sky, again, these are just the top takeaways. The Sky selling off the knee in the match was nothing short spectacular to set up the finish nicely. It's not a stretch to suggest that women's wrestling has carried WWE in 2025. Basically, I mean, this was the best match on the card, man. Nothing more than that. I mean, it was great. It's the best match on the card. Moving on to mixed tag team match with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and AJ Lee, which we're not going to be seeing CM Punk and Seth Rollins be involved, I think, in a while at least. They're going to be taking time off, definitely. We know that for a fact. CM Punk and AJ Lee, again, had never teamed together. Last time Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins defeated Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, where Becky Lynch took a real finisher, and Baron Corbin basically ended up having Tom Passtock, ended up having death threats, basically. You know, you wish that Punk gave Becky Lynch a GTS. Yeah, well, we're gonna get that for sure. For first time in 10 years, AJ Lee set foot inside the square circle for a WWE match, teaming with her husband CM Punk to battle the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins and wife Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch. Rollins and Punk did not define early moments of the match, with two world champ beating his rival down and isolating him from a significant other. That was cool. It was just like this whole back and forth, one tagging each other, the other tagging each other, and then Rollins, um, Becky tagging Rollins, Seth tagging back Becky. That was really mind games we're playing. Love that shit they did there. Rollins as a defined by moments of the match with the world champion between rivals, isolating him from significant other, and all while Lynch added a few insult slaps for good measure. Yeah, Lynch obviously got physical in terms of slapping, beating a Punk. Feeling confident, Rollins hoisted the women's. This was funny, bro. This is actually a cheap game. Again, we're getting here. Rollins and Punk defined early moments of the match, with world champion beating his rival down and isolating him from his significant other, and all while Lynch added a few insult slaps for good measure. Feeling confident, Rollins hoisted the women's IC champ overhead and attempted to drop her on Punk, but then the best gender rolled out of the way. Lynch crashed in the mat. That was absolutely hilarious. I couldn't. Still, the alert heels retained retained control out of the off the bout. Hubris again proved costly as Rollins mockingly skipped around the ring. This was really funny. Looking great stuff in this match. I'm going to mention. We're going to talk about definitely here to talk about. Only to eat a GTS from Punk for his troubles. Lynch tried to prevent the tag but failed. Lee made her pay for it. Lee pummeled the man the chance off. You still got it. Asia Lee pummeled, and then Asia Lee got the stance. You still got it. She. Well, my bad. Sand no proof lost. He is mockingly skip. Ring only GG. He had a GTS from CM Punk, and then Lynch literally tried to pull CM Punk, and then he gave her a kiss basically. And then Asia Lee came at Becky Lynch, and then she beat the shit out of Becky Lynch basically. She then added a shot or two for good measure for her husband, basically. Punk and Lee teamed up for a modified sliced bread for two when they added steer running knees, bulldogs, and shining wizards. A double submission spot saw Lee apply the Black Widow to Becky Lynch and Punk, the sharpshooter to Rollins. The world champion raked Punk's eyes to break up their momentum. Lynch Rollins, not to be outdone, delivered a double pedigree spot but could not keep their opponents down. Moments later, this all stuff was basically really great. The spots here were awesome. Applied a sharpshooter to Punk to little effect as the babyface countered and applied the hold to the big time Bex. It's a name I don't want to hear really anymore. Okay, move away from the big time Bex. The exchange of finishers continued with until Lynch delivered a manhandle slam to Lee. Who kicked out over the very last second, which is again great selling from AJ Lee. She fucking killed it in the ring. I literally, I mean, the description below you can see. AJ Lee fucking killed it basically. The IC champ tapped out. Where are we at again? Ultimately, commentary table spot left Lee with Lynch, who tried for a manhandle slam, but only to find herself trapped in the Black Widow. The IC champ tapped out, and the babyface shook united, basically. And then there we go. Move on to stuff here. You know, it's really funny when CM Punk locked in Becky Lynch after the slaps. Becky Lynch, I hope, got a GTS from Punk. So again, we're gonna get that for sure. Michael Cole noted a lot of people are calling Lynch the best women's wrestler in history. Bleacher Report did. That's hilarious. Punk sported a jacket that read AJ's husband, which was really nice, wholesome. It was a ton of fun. While the match of the year nominations delivered, entertaining lessons, blah 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 blah. Blah. Okay, God, we're got with this shit, man. Again, the spot I kind of criticize is like not enough violence, man. Not enough You have the abundance of this whole at your feel. You have all this with you now, and you really don't do this. Basically, kind of let me feel a bit iffy, man. Basically, that's what I would say. That's what I felt. But whatever the case is, I'm not gonna quote on whatever the fucking case is, basically. But it's what it is. I felt what I could feel about it. I'm gonna tell you what I feel about it. That's the end of the day, man. I think we're getting close to 1 hour 20 minutes. I think this is and we might be going over 1 hour 20 minutes. We crossed that. Hey, we did it. We might be going over fucking 1 hour 20 minutes, guys. Cool shit. So again, back to that again. Again the spot where Punk finally the slaps from Becky and the Punk had enough, and I thought he's gonna give her a fucking GTS. But no, he could put her in a sharpshooter or some sorts, or the leg lock, and then he put her in the submission. And Becky Lynch was in the submission hold from CM Punk. Pause, but I'm not gonna say, no pun intended. But this hold that Punk had, a figure four kind of leg lock he had on CM Punk, basically. Sorry, on Becky Lynch. It's like, bro, just give her a fucking GTS. Like Baron Corbin did it under Vince. The fucking you cannot. Like, why don't you like? I think a GTS was needed for Becky Lynch in this match. That would have been cool to see. AJ Lee would have popped hard. AJ Lee would have been like, and then AJ Lee, the GTS to Becky, and a maybe having Seth Rollins getting put in a Black Widow, and he taps out to AJ Lee. That would be so embarrassing for Seth, and Punk will run with this. You tapped out to my wife story. I wish they did something like that. If I would critique it, this is something I would critique here, and I critique something for the Bronze and the Usos match was not enough LA Knight and Uso, build really there. But we're gonna talk about on Monday nights because again, we don't do a Dynamite review. We're not gonna. There's not much to talk about on AEW Dynamite really. There's stuff to talk about, but you expect me to talk about fucking the shit all over and over again? You expect me to break down a All-Star match? Get the fuck out of here, bro. I will not break down an All-Star match. No, that's not happening. So let me just tell you that, please. I'm not breaking down a All-Star match one fucking second. Okay? We watching the show, basically, but I ain't breaking down one All-Star match. So Dynamite, we're not getting a fucking review for that. Please. But again, what I would critique here, you know, Becky Lynch getting a GTS for the finish, and then Seth Rollins coming at Punk, and AJ locks him into a Black Widow, and he taps out. Just imagine the thought of CM Punk laughing at Seth, just saying, fucking, rub it in Seth's face. You tapped out to my wife, who was not even in the ring who has come back after 10 years. You say you're this great, and you tapped out to my wife. That'd be some. I would. I wouldn't mind it. They would not bury Seth Rollins, really. Let's be real. Nothing good. He's one of the top guys in the company. That would never ruin Seth Rollins. It won't. I think I would have given that finish basically, but it was really cool to see Seth Rollins get more heat on with really slamming AJ Lee, tripping her over. He didn't give her the curb stomp, which again would be great for Seth to do, but he tripped her over, slammed her, tripped her over. I mean, just pulled her leg, and she fell really pulled her really hard. She slammed on the mat in the ring, basically. Um, I like that. That stuff was entertaining, basically. What I'll say. That shit is basically fucking entertaining at the end of the day. That's some cool shit, man. I like stuff like that. But again, we're going. This was a great match. A great match. Absolutely a close excellent if they did what I was thinking, but no, they didn't do that. Some spots were different. It's Cody versus Drew McIntyre, man. Let's get into that shit. Are we? Basically, so guys, we're already into like a. We're going like I think we're gonna be going 1 hour 30 minutes plus, basically. For your understanding here, we're going 1 hour 20 plus at least. But I think we might be going 1 hour 30 minutes here. So bear with me, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here, basically. And you'll be tune in for the Monday Night Raw review coming up, and then obviously AEW Dynamite. I don't do the reviews for NXT. I don't watch NXT. It's not a product that I tune into. I have no interest in watching NXT. Too many talent that just are not it for me. They don't. I find cringe, a lot of cringe on NXT, basically. Not it. Okay. The Homecoming was fun to see. Otherwise, it's not worth it much. Last year, I cared about actually watching NXT. I mean, there's some talent there I like to see, but again, I'm not into the tag team division really. I don't understand what kind of tag team division they have in NXT down there. They're developing it for the main roster, so if it gets a buzz. Maybe I'll check it out. But other than that, Fraxium were the hottest tag teams in NXT. If you know about that, for fuck's sake, know about that basically. Anyways, obviously Cody and Cena teamed up to take on Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul last time in a tag team match, which again was 4 minutes, or let's say 10 minutes maximum of in-ring wrestling, and on TV it was basically like 4 minutes. It my bad. Was 4 minutes of the match. Rhodes dealt with the effects of the beatdown suffered Friday on SmackDown early in the defense of, again, where they had their what I would call it, I'm going to mention here, where they had their promo segment, which was again great. And literally Drew McIntyre, when it was in his promo segment, says, "Thank you, Cody." He said, "You're gonna tweet, you're gonna make this thing viral, you're gonna make the social media thing viral. You're gonna make this shit viral." I mean, he really called him a social media whatever thing or some sorts, and then Drew McIntyre really tweeted, "Thank you, Cody." He said, "You read that?" Cody was confused, like, "That's all I wanted. All I wanted was for the first time to not be screwed out of a championship match." Actually, I was just imagining if CM Punk would have screwed him, I would have loved that. Maybe it would be right time to rekindle that feud again. Punk and Drew. Punk still saying, Punk's words running through saying, "As long as I'm alive, motherfucker, you're not winning the world championship." So I would have loved for CM Punk to screw him over and cost him the world title. Maybe that would have brought a little tension between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. I don't know. I think I would have been. If you would do that, I would be more intrigued even than the aspect of Cody and Seth. I'd be more intrigued of now Cody saying, "What the fuck are you doing, man? I had it." Against CM Punk's reasons, I promise Drew that I will make sure he doesn't become world champion ever as long as I'm alive. That's what CM Punk said. CM Punk paying more attention into this and then kind of building some tension between Cody. I think that would be more intriguing if the show went off with Punk and Cody in some ways. I think the show would be well received, but that did not happen. It was underwhelming what happened, basically. Again, that promo between Cody and Drew on SmackDown, like, saying to Drew, basically, Drew saying to Cody, "Thank you, Cody. This is what I always wanted. No interference, no bloodline, no BS. I have you one-on-one because I know you will want nobody involved in this. And you will defend this with honor. And now I can finally win this championship." It's a great promo. And then Drew McIntyre gave Cody a headbutt. And then Drew McIntyre wanted to fucking put Cody's head through the announce table again. And he slid. He slid. He was like, "No, I'm not gonna. I'll see you at Wrestlepalooza. I want you to be ready, Cody." and Cody came back to attack him, suicide dive, and then Drew McIntyre spotted him and kind of saying, I have like that. Then he looked at Cody the way they did it. I mean, obviously the weird shit he said on Twitter where he's like, "I want Cody's ass." Go like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck you talking about, Drew? What the fuck you want Cody's ass? What the fuck you want Cody's ass?" But again, the whole situation. Obviously, Drew McIntyre was feuding with Randy Orton for a while, recently since Cody Rhodes was out of action or more on paternity leave, on paternity leave, right? Yeah, to go check off his wife and take care of his wife who was pregnant, and then go film his big role in uh what would be that again? We talked about overnight Street Fighter, which comes out almost a year from now. In terms of everything, it comes out October 2026. So be out ready for that, I guess. You know, cool shit, I guess. But again, the thing I mentioned here, this is how I would have done it. I would have had CM Punk come out there. I really like the promo. You know, SmackDown was actually a good show. Shocking. I mean, it was a good show. He had Sami Zayn versus Carmelo Hayes. Fucking awesome match, man. A awesome TV match. This is what the Open Challenge is about. Elevating talent like this. Oh, this is what I wanted. I have been wanting this I wanted this last year with LA Knight or somebody, I guess. I don't know. I guess they chose it to be Sami Zayn, and I love that we got Open Challenge for this. Talent will be elevated in positions here. By the way, shout out to Andrade for going to House of Glory. Great place to join. House of Glory has signed Andrade. Cool thing Andrade is doing there. Is he signed or is he making an appearance? I'm not sure. I think what I saw on Instagram, I think he was signed. I'm not sure about that. But again, the SmackDown's a good show. Ain't not gonna lie. It's a good show. Not a great show, but it's a good show. Lately, I don't know how SmackDown's been good, really, but it was a good show. This promo thing with Cody and Drew, I think they killed it, both of them. Drew saying, "Thank you, Cody. Like, thank you for this thing. Because now I can finally win the World Championship. After being screwed over by the Bloodline and everybody." So from that exactly moment, I was like, oh my god, okay, it'll be still great if CM Punk shows up and screws over Drew McIntyre. You know, CM Punk is on the same fucking show. This is not Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. Or Punk doesn't work on SmackDown. CM Punk can show up because it was literally on the show. I would obviously have them do this. That's what I would think I would do. CM Punk comes out. CM Punk, Drew's about to legit you know, put Cody through the Cody Rhodes gets the ref gets taken out. CM Punk comes out, gives Drew McIntyre a low blow, gives him a fucking middle finger. Fuck you, Drew. I always told you, as long as I have breath in my lungs, you will never be world champion. You will never be world champion in WWE. I told you that, Drew. Now does CM Punk and Cody Rhodes have some tension inbuilt? You could have done that, really. But no, they chose not to do that, basically. And that's their own fucking thing and their own fucking gripe against their own show, basically. I'm not gonna call them out, but I'm gonna call them out for what fucking not doing shit, basically. Where they should have done something. We know that. Moving on from this, man. No, moving on, sorry. But again, as I said, this to me should have been the finish. Drew McIntyre getting a low blow and Cody taking advantage. CM Punk running out of the crowd, screwing over Randy also getting involved or something like that. A little overbooking could have done something. Because this match was absolutely the most underwhelming piece of steak I've ever eaten. That match felt like the most bland chicken that you served to me in a fancy five-star restaurant, basically. You call Wrestlepalooza your five-star fancy restaurant on ESPN. You give me a bland chicken. You give me a bland chicken. You give me a bland piece of chicken, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Not it. Not it, man. So this is what I would have done to put intrigue into this. Now you have Randy Orton involved into this, but now you have tension with Cody. Now Cody's fucking furious with Punk. The fuck are you doing in my title match? You have no business. But Punk has saying that I told Drew, do you hear what I say, Cody? That as long as I am alive and I'm breathing well in this company, Drew McIntyre will never be world champion. Maybe that would have really put more intrigue into it. And Cody's still fucking furious at Punk. And a Randy Orton also kind of getting involved into this. Setting up into a Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, a triple threat, whatever, maybe, at CM Punk, I don't know. At WrestleMania 42. Because I think that's the vision, basically. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. I see the vision for WrestleMania being the Braun Breaker going ahead. If I'm not sure if Roman's going to be back for Crown Jewel, then I see the vision for WrestleMania being Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns, or Braun Breaker beats Roman. That's going to happen. That's going to fucking happen. So, this would leave me on intrigue. You rekindle that Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feud back again, because I think it's time to revisit that again. It's been a year. You know you got to visit it eventually again. And personally, I prefer CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's feud over Seth and Punk. Seth and Punk's great. They have more chemistry, clearly. But some of the things, the way they build that feud, I mean, the best Triple H feud he's done since he's taken over the company, the product. All right, we're gonna end this off with we're about to talk about this. Road dealt with the effects of the beatdown suffered on Friday Night SmackDown. Early defense, Cody Cutter, and appearing to step off, as Wade Barrett noted on commentary, even when the American Nightmare did mount on offense, such as superplex, the top rope, responded slowly, holding back on his head. He shook it off, but traded lights when McIntyre and added a snap power slam for a 2 count. Back and forth action continued until McIntyre exposed a turnbuckle with referee's attention diverted. This is just like McIntyre stuff, basically. Tried rolled up to the champion, but could not benefit from the official's count. Scott receives a claymore through the commentary table. His initial attack on Rhodes after SummerSlam, but the referee prevented it. Just so stupid, basically. When McIntyre executed the move, he missed, potentially destroying his leg in the process, which made Drew McIntyre look like a fucking buffoon. How many times have we seen this shit? Injury preventing him delivering a claymore. Rhodes took advantage, delivering a super Cody Cutter, and across the process secured the victory. Yeah, we forgot to talk about definitely the Undertaker announcing Stephanie McMahon as the induction of 2026 Hall of Fame, which is great. Where to, Stephanie? Indeed. Where to, Stephanie? You know, where to, Stephanie? We know where to, Stephanie. The Hall of Fame, the class of 2026. Incredible stuff. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Great thing to hear. Great thing to see. Stephanie McMahon got announced. Good for her. Again, this match being really underwhelming, basically. Thing was a good match at best, really. But being underwhelming for the finish and how... I think people are just underwhelmed on the show, basically. I won't say this match was generally underwhelming. But, you know, it was whatever it was, whatever, you know. But again, I would have been intrigued. As I said, Cody and Seth, I get it. I'm already intrigued when Cody retained. Because I knew we're getting Cody and Seth now. That's going to be great. Story, the Shield, story. WrestleMania 40, I'm going to be your Shield. Story. You have never beaten me. The moment I walked back into WWE, I beat you 3 single times in a row. You never got one victory over me. Story. Seth Rollins saying that the future runs through me. The future goes through me. I'm the guy the future gets put over through. Not you, Cody. Seth feeling bitter and vengeful in whatever some ways and feeling like Cody doesn't understand that story. So I'm already intrigued. You already know Seth's motives. Nonetheless, we can talk about Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. We're going to have great chemistry with you, a strong main event. When flows until Richard Rodder did great down a little. It was the last strong main event for the American Nightmare. Again, we are not sure how McIntyre recovers from this. It's like likely with the end problem. It's a guy I think who continues to get looks. Yeah, McIntyre doesn't really get booked to actually win the main event some majority times, which ultimately like just hurts his credibility. I would say personally, that's what I think. And you know, the referee whole positioning up in the fucking spot was stupid, man. Not it. So the injustices against Drew McIntyre just at comical at this point. They're not it. Nobody fucking cares about them. It's the same shit with Drew McIntyre. Move on. Nobody cares about this. Make Drew McIntyre feel more legit. Don't make him look like a fucking idiot out there, a geek, a buffoon, putting his fucking leg through the fucking. But eventually, I'm sure he should win matches. He should win some prominent matches. Drew McIntyre this year, I gotta say, guys, we're gonna end off with this one. We're gonna end off with this. Overall, I'll give this show. I think it was a okay show. Wasn't a bad show. Wasn't an awful show. Was an okay show. Was an alright show. Nothing special on the show. Nothing really over the top special. Was an okay show. Drew Cody too overhyped. That's why I'm giving it an okay. I would give it a good if they didn't fucking overhype as much they did. But I'm gonna talk about the main event again. This would have given us even more intrigue. I'm talking about Cody and Seth, just talking about Punk getting involved and saying "fuck you, Drew." I'm not gonna let you become world champion. This is the promise I made. As long as I have air in my lungs, you're not gonna be world champion in this company. I'm gonna make sure of that. And Punk screwing over Drew McIntyre. Maybe get back to that again. Intrigue. And have some tension between Drew. Obviously, again, lining up that whole tension back between Drew and Punk. But there's some tension between Punk and Cody. Some real tension, basically, this time. Motherfucker, why were you part? Why did you do what you did? That's what Cody would say, Punk. Motherfucker, why did you do that? You had no real business being involved in my business. Your hate doesn't. I mean, Cody Rhodes will be pissed off with CM Punk. Randy Orton being involved in it, and the whole Randy really getting fucking annoyed with Cody, and now the whole thing with Cody getting in, just slowly they're teasing it. Obviously, since Cody has been out recently, they have not teased it. But when they again speak together, when they have a fucking interact again, I can see them teasing this. Definitely. I don't know who's I see costing Cody Rhodes the match at Wrestlepalooza. I can see it with Brock Lesnar. But Seth Rollins wins, but again, not clean. He doesn't beat Cody Rhodes clean. Sorry, not Wrestlepalooza, at Crown Jewel. I can see Brock Lesnar costing Cody Rhodes the match. A favor for Paul Heyman of some sorts. After Brock got from they had a meeting, basically a meetup, where Brock basically got a favor from Paul, and Paul gave Brock a favor. Now Brock will return that favor back in attacking Cody Rhodes when the ref goes down, and Seth Rollins takes advantage and pins Cody Rhodes. Anyways, guys, that'll be it the Wrestlepalooza honest take on my review. Also, this was an okay show. And yes, even though there's a lot of shit I put out on AEW All Out, this was definitely not the better show. AEW All Out was a better show. Even though, my bad, even though stuff I mentioned again and again, over and over again, I'll mention this stuff over and over again, basically. What I did not like on the show. But again, like the 5 matches I mentioned, I didn't like, and the 5 matches I liked, basically. 5 matches I cared about, 5 matches I give 2 shits about, and I was not really into them. Overall, I think that'll be it for the show, man. All Out definitely was better than